So imagine losing 50 to 100 pounds, whatever your goal is. You change your diet, you worked out hard every day, 6 days a week. You finally reach your goal and you're still struggling mentally. You still don't have the confidence that you thought you would have. You're still struggling to find a mate. You still don't feel attractive. You don't feel fulfilled. You still don't feel happy. What was the point of all of that if you get there and you still don't feel your best? This is what happened to me. And that's why I want you to watch every minute of this video, because I'm gonna tell you the one thing that you need to do before going on a weight loss journey that will prevent this from happening to you. Because trust me, if you don't do this thing, it will happen to you. You see this dude, Fat Brix? He had this idea that weight loss was the missing piece. It was the thing that he needed to achieve in order to make all of his problems go away. And part of the reason why I ended up obese in the first place is because I did not take care of myself adequately. I didn't really love myself enough to give myself the type of care that I deserved. Now, if I can go back to the beginning of my journey, one of the first things I would have done is I would have started to care for myself better right then and there. For example, to start building the habit of loving myself, I would have started a skincare routine. And luckily for you, Teach Hanley is sponsoring today's video, and they have a special offer for my viewers. See, personally, I started with the level 1 system, and I wish Fat Brix would have started with the level 1 system, because honestly, this dude's skin was terrible. Take a look. It was oily, it was greasy, it was dirty. His skin screamed, this guy doesn't love himself. So I suggest you starting with the level 1 system. It has everything that you need. And the thing I love about Teach Hanley is they make skincare very uncomplicated. So when you open the box, boom, it has a card that gives you detailed directions on how to use the system. It comes with a AM moisturizer, a PM moisturizer, a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub that you use a few times a week. It has everything that you need. And because Teach Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering an amazing deal. Just click the first link in the description. You'll get 40% off. 40% off your first skincare system, and you'll get one of these 2 free gifts. Plus, if you become a member, you'll also get 20% off forever. Uncomplicate your skincare. Get yourself on the path to loving yourself by actually showing yourself love. So you owe yourself to take good care of your skin. Thank you, Teach Hanley, for sponsoring today's video. Now understand this, if you exercise and you eat healthy foods because you hate your body instead of because you love your body, you're gonna get 2 totally different outcomes. When your weight loss journey is fueled by hate and self-loathing, and it has this negative charge behind it, the experience is gonna feel very draining. You're gonna feel very unfulfilled. You're gonna put yourself in this perpetual cycle of negative emotions. There's gonna be a lot of guilt. There's gonna be a lot of negative self-talk. Inversely, when you go on a weight loss journey, when you start to eat healthy and you start to exercise because you love your body, and now your entire journey is fueled by positive thoughts, positive energy, it becomes more sustainable. It becomes a more healthy experience mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Now let me tell you, there was 2 segments of my weight loss journey. The first, I want to say 8 months of my journey was extremely messy. I lost 60 pounds, I gained back 40. I lost another 50 pounds, I gained back another 50 pounds. It was disgustingly erratic all over the place, because that part of my journey was fueled by impatience, by self-loathing, by negative energy. I hated my body, I hated my life, I hated myself. That's why I wanted to change it, which led to these cycles of binging and dieting. Before we get to the next part of this video, I want you to take advantage of my free Healthy Eating for Dummies guide. It's a totally free download. The link is in the description. No strings attached. Take advantage of it because I outline the process A to Z. All right. And it's totally for free. So jump on that right now. Pause. Which led to these cycles of binging and dieting. And it wasn't until I said, damn, Brix, something's broken with the way that you're approaching things, and I try to shift it to a more sustainable pace. And I started to pay attention to my emotions. I started to pay attention to that voice in my head. When I noticed that the voice in my head was negative, right? And I was dieting or not eating as many calories because I thought, for one, this is a way to punish my body for being fat, right? Versus me being more meticulous about my calorie intake, being more intentional about my food choices because I wanted to feel good. It changed everything for me. The second phase of my journey, I was able to find sustainability. I was able to achieve better mental health. I was able to find consistency because everything wasn't so negatively charged, right? So before you go on a weight loss journey, right, thinking that weight loss is the solution. You go on this weight loss journey thinking that once I lose weight, I'm gonna love myself, I'm gonna feel value, I'm gonna feel confident. No, if you do not feel that in the beginning, you're not going to feel it once you reach your goal. Trust me, I thought the same exact thing. You have to start to love yourself. You have to start to value yourself. You have to start to claim an identity of confidence before you start on your journey. Right? You have to do it because you love yourself. You have to love yourself right now as you are, right? With the intention of making some changes. Obviously, again, if your journey is charged with this negative energy, is fueled by this negative voice in your head, you're going to experience a lot of heartache. You're going to experience a lot of frustration. Now you're asking yourself, okay, Brix, how do I start to love myself when I'm so overweight and I'm lazy and all of these things that you probably say to yourself, which aren't true, right? How do you love yourself? The first thing you do is you check that voice. That negative voice in your head that's saying all of these terrible things about you. You have to start to change that story. You have to change that narrative. And the first thing you have to do is observe it. You got to shine light on it. Right? Because a lot of the times we're not even aware of the negative voice in our heads that stops us, that limits us, that puts these restrictions on what we believe we can do. If you set out on a weight loss journey and you don't believe you can achieve it, you're not gonna. You're not going to achieve it. Listen, the subconscious programming, your belief systems, your attitude, the things, that voice in your head, you'll never be able to compete with that. It doesn't matter how much exercising you do. It doesn't matter what diet you do. You're never going to be able to compete with that voice in your head. So you have to start by checking that. And the way you check it is by choosing a new identity right now. You're no longer going to tolerate that negative voice in your head. You're no longer going to limit yourself. You're going to start to affirm to yourself that you are worthy. That you are worthy of weight loss, that you are worthy of self-love, you are worthy of self-care. Now, I know this shit probably sounds real foo-foo and soft, but listen, bro, you got fat because you did not love yourself. Because you did not honor yourself, you did not cherish yourself, you did not value yourself. And if you think that weight loss is gonna make you feel valuable, you got another thing coming, bro. It's not gonna happen that way. You have to choose that right now. You do that by practicing self-compassion. You gotta understand it took you 20, 30, 40 years to get into this physical condition, right? It's gonna take time for you to reverse that. That's the first thing. Be kind to yourself. Obviously, there's some things about yourself that you recognize that you need to address, right? Absolutely. But you're going to do that in a kind, patient way. You're not going to allow that negative voice to guilt you into making changes that just aren't sustainable. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to set yourself up for success. I want you to focus on your strengths. I want you to focus on the things that you actually enjoy about a weight loss process. If you don't like lifting weights and you like walking, just walk. Set yourself up for success. Make sure you're setting small goals that you can actually achieve. So you got to understand this about confidence. Confidence comes not from your physical form, right? Your confidence comes from the strengths that you recognize and you build and the consistency that you achieve during the process. That's what builds your confidence. Your body is just the external manifestation of that. But during the process, if you can win, right? You can achieve small wins and you stack those wins upon each other. Your body eventually changes, but the confidence that you build is not because of what you look like. It's because of what you successfully went through. You prove to yourself that you can trust yourself. Another way that you can start to value yourself right now is through the practice of mindfulness. You gotta be aware of that voice. You gotta watch it. You almost gotta take a third-party perspective on that voice so that you can put some space in between your true self and that voice. You are not your mind. You are not your emotions. And you got to understand your body's going to always follow your mind. Right? So you got to get the mental conditioning. You got to build the inner strength. You got to affirm to yourself that you are valuable, that you are worth it, that you deserve to treat your body well. You got to believe that first. Right? And if you go into your weight loss journey with that understanding, by choosing that identity, by choosing that narrative, I'm doing this because I love myself. I'm doing this because I am worth it. I'm doing this because my family and friends and my community deserves the best version of myself. When you're doing it with that sort of energy behind you, you're going to get a totally different result when compared to the energy of, I can't get anybody. Nobody loves me. I got to go on this restrictive diet because, you know what, I'm a fat fuck and I'm lazy and I always fail. So in order for me to feel good about myself, I have to be a certain size. And listen, that energy is never going to get you there. Not long term. It may get you some short-term results, but it won't get you there. And trust me, I'm talking to you from experience. All right. So choose right now to monitor that voice in your head. Choose right now to take on an identity of self-love, of confidence. Even if you don't believe it right now, you start to build that confidence with little wins. Set yourself up for these little wins. Prioritize consistency. All right. And then slowly start to build some intensity and get some momentum going. And next thing you know, you got a whole new body. You got a whole new mind. You got a whole new identity. All right. Love yourself. Weight loss is the supreme act of self-love. Developing discipline, developing confidence is the supreme act of self-love. All right. So go into your journey with that energy, with that understanding. I appreciate y'all for watching. Leave the video a big thumbs up. And as always, remember the body that you want is owned by a higher version of yourself. So evolve. Peace.